What's going on, guys? Crypto Renegade here. In today's video, we're finally doing an unboxing and review of the brand new Trezor Safe 5. This is meant to be a replacement for the legacy Trezor Model T. Has quite a few upgrades and features, even above and beyond the Trezor Safe 3, which I did a review on not too long ago, and I'll link that down below if you want to see that. Today, we'll go over coin support. We're going to cover the security, features, usability, and user experience, and then of course we'll end on the price and what comes with this. And if you stay tuned all the way to the end, I actually was able to receive the coaching service, which is a one-on-one setup call. They go over all of your questions and concerns, and I recorded part of it, so I'll go ahead and leave some of those at the end if you're interested to see how that works. Personally, I'm glad that Trezor was the first company to actually offer this service because it's much needed and it helps people kind of get off on the right foot. If they're new to crypto, if they're new to hardware wallets, if they're new to security in general, I would highly recommend it. And again, I'll leave a link down below in the description if that's something that interests you. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start with unboxing the Trezor Safe 5. As you can see, they changed their packaging here. They don't have quite the regular security-based box that they have on the Trezor Model 1 or the Trezor Model T, but I don't think that that's necessarily a big issue. One of the key upgrades for this versus the legacy Trezor devices is it now has an EAL6 plus security element chip, which it previously didn't have in any of the other models. This one has a color and touchscreen with haptic feedback, which I've used, and it's actually pretty cool. You have the Trezor One app, which is available on desktop, and you can also view your balance and take a look at everything and manage it from iOS or Android as well. And we'll talk about the coin support as well. So they come in 3 different versions. They have a gold, or kind of like a Bitcoin orange, Bitcoin only version for people that are strictly only using Bitcoin and just want to have that. This one is their normal version, which allows third-party wallet access. It also has several native applications for certain coins, your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Dash, XRP, Doge, and many more. So this is the black graphite version. Let's go ahead and open her up. Okay, so take off the plastic wrapping here. And as far as the seal, they have sort of like a tear security seal here. So they're not void of stickers or anything like that on the packaging or the box itself, but as you can see, it does have this sort of security seal here where you can kind of pull the tab and lets you know if the original packaging has been tampered with, which is at least good for that. It pops up, it says Trezor, it's just you and your crypto, which is really good. You can obviously rip this off or tear this off if you want. And then as you open it here, you get the Trezor device itself. Now it comes with a sort of protective screen here, which I'm going to leave on for the moment. Now, if you're new to Trezor, this is only connected by USB-C to your laptop or your desktop. This is not operated through mobile via Bluetooth or via any wireless communication. This is pretty traditional where it's a desktop app as far as where you'll sign and send transactions using the device. But again, the iOS and mobile app for Android as well will allow you to kind of view your portfolio and take a look at things there on the go. So it has the screen protector, which is pretty cool. Now, this one has a full screen display, and it does not have sort of the mechanical buttons that the Trezor Safe 3 with it, that has also a smaller screen. This is a full touchscreen display, which is pretty neat. You still have the SD card slot on the side here if you so choose to use it. And more importantly, and why I think that they didn't include extra security tape on the packaging is because they have this tamper-evident holographic seal across the bottom here, where it's very evident, as I'll show you as I rip it off, it's very evident that if you decide, or if anyone tries to manipulate it or try to replace it, it's virtually impossible. So as you can see here, quite difficult actually to get it off. Let me see, I'll try this side here. Okay, perfect. So you have a little pull tab here. As you pull it off, you'll see on the wording here, it says void. So if you receive a wallet that has any of this tape cleared off, you'll know that it's been tampered with, that it's been manipulated and handled before outside of the factory, and that's a big red flag from a security standpoint. If you see any of this when you open the box or you receive it, do not send it back to Trezor and they'll replace it for you. As you can see, this holographic tape is kind of like a sticky residue, but it remains on the device so that you can obviously tell that it's been opened and used. And then you have your USB-C port, which will actually power the device, turn it on. It has haptic feedback, so you can actually use your thumbprint. It will actually, you hold it, it will actually load or sign a transaction for you. It requires a 4 to 8 digit PIN for basic security. This also allows you to do an extra passphrase or seed phrase. We only recommend that for advanced users, because even if you have your 24-word recovery seed phrase and you don't remember the custom password you put along with it, you cannot restore it. So only use that if you're very confident that you won't forget the password. It's a strong password, it's a secure password, and that adds an extra layer of protection and security. You actually do have like a graphite black backing here, plating, which actually looks pretty nice with the Trezor seal, and then it actually feels a little bit heavier and it's higher quality. Obviously, you have some really hard plastic here, and then you have sort of like a machine metal finish on the device. So it's a lot more robust, and it's a lot more sort of heavy duty than, say, a plastic Model 1 or a Trezor Model T. So it is definitely worth the upgrade, just for the user experience and for the full touchscreen display, not just the tiny touchscreen display that you've used maybe on previous Trezors. As far as what else comes in the box, you have your basic getting started guide, you have your recovery seed phrase pamphlets, you have kind of everything that you need to get it going in here. And in this case, you actually get a braided, actually, sorry, my apologies, it's not braided, but you do get a USB-C to USB-C cable, not only for powering on the device, but in connecting it to your computer. But that's how you'll actually power on the device, use it, so on and so forth with your desktop. They update the Trezor One app very frequently. I've been seeing lots of updates and features come through on the desktop app, which is actually really, really good. They no longer use the web version because there's a lot of scams and a lot of phishing that's going on with that. So they've created their own sort of secure desktop app that allows you to authenticate the device. That allows you to go through the setup and make sure that nothing's been tampered with. It verifies authenticity of the device and can actually tell if it's been tampered with, even regardless of the tamper evident seals and other kind of visual representations of that. This is a pretty simple wallet, but Trezor is tried and true, so you don't really have to worry about some of the things that newer hardware wallets are. Like, this wallet company has a history. They put security first and foremost, and now that they've added the secure element chip, it gives you kind of that extra peace of mind that your private keys are kind of blocked away from the rest of the device. It doesn't send or receive without you authenticating or signing the transaction with your PIN. And as far as the overall coin support, I will say that the native coin support on this is not that great. You have virtually the exact same coin support as you do on the Trezor Safe 3. Again, native applications are built in, your basic top 10 coins that have the most volume. But again, if you want some of those other tokens on, other blockchains, Avalanche, Solana, BNB, you can do that, but it has to be connected through a third-party wallet, but it will store your private keys on this device itself. Pretty small, but also pretty robust, and you have a much larger screen space, so the user experience has been increased and has been a lot better. I have another version that I'm using live, and this is obviously for unboxing purposes, so I will have another follow-up video as far as the user experience, what my thoughts are, how secure it is, so on and so forth. But you get a lot of robust advanced security features on the Safe 5 versus the Safe 3, which again is a smaller device, has mechanical buttons, smaller screen. So mainly the reason for going for a Trezor Safe 5 as opposed to a Trezor Safe 3 is just larger device, touchscreen, haptic. It kind of gives you a better overall user experience. But as far as the security and as far as the coin support, they are virtually the same, if I'm being honest. So kind of just depending on what you want to do, the pricing for this currently as of filming this is $169 US, but check the links down below for Black Friday and other holiday-based deals that may give massive discounts, and my link will always have the best deal no matter what, because I'm partnered with Trezor. With that being said, overall coin support natively, not very good. If you're just using Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some ERC20 tokens, you'll have absolutely no problem. If you like using third-party wallets like MetaMask, things like that, you can connect and use it with this. It just requires an extra step, authenticating it with that wallet and then signing it on the device so that your private keys are stored here and are sent there when you initiate and sign a transaction. All in all, Trezor is a great company. I've used this wallet. I like this wallet. I tend to go for more of the air-gapped and the wireless wallets just for user experience, but if you don't mind being tethered to a laptop or MacBook or anything like that, this is a great device with great security, and it's right in the middle of the road as far as the price point. Overall, I personally used it. I'll do another follow-up video showing you what my experience is, but this is a great device. It comes with a major overhaul and upgrade from the previous Trezor Model T. If you have a Trezor Model T, I would say it's worth the upgrade just for the enhanced security element chip, and kind of overall UX improvement. If you still want to keep your Trezor Model T, that's fine. This is a modest upgrade, so they've made a lot of useful changes, I'll put it that way. And the overall it's keeping the traditional shape of the trapezoid, but at the same time, you have more screen real estate to kind of do what you want and use things. So all in all, let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns. I'll post a follow-up video shortly on this as far as like how to actually use it and what it's like using it. But let me know if this is a wallet that you guys are interested in. Again, Trezor is probably the most respected crypto hardware wallet company out there, just due to their longevity and their history, and not having any major security breaches, faults, leaking to governments, things of the like. So let me know what you guys think. And until next time, Crypto Renegade out.
When you were unboxing your Trezor, did it actually have the holographic seal covering the USB port?
It did. And I actually do have a question for you. I've always been wondering. I know this is security tape designed for tamper-evident seals, so on and so forth. When you peel it off, I understand that it purposely leaves sort of trace amounts. If you want to polish it and get rid of that, what is the most effective way to do that? The residue, if you will.
I mean, usually, like from my experience, it was enough if I just like rubbed it with my thumb, and it just like comes off like with a little bit of heat. But if you want to like do it with some chemicals, I get like some isopropyl alcohol would probably do the trick.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I wouldn't submerge it, but like if you dip a cloth in some alcohol, and just like but like scraping it off with a thumb, or like just rubbing it with a thumb, usually gets rid of like any of the sticky residue that remains there from the glue.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So with this said, I'm going to do the brief presentation about crypto. You probably will know most of this, but maybe this will be useful in some way. So what crypto networks allow you to do is to make transactions without the need for a third party. So any transactions can be sent directly from your address to another person, or an exchange's address, or the other way around. And to be able to do that, you need something that's called a private key, which technically speaking is like the proof of ownership of the coin that you have. Or like in this case, I'm using Bitcoin here as a presentation since we are a Bitcoin first company, but it applies to any other crypto out there. And this is actually the role of Trezor as well, because it's designed to securely hold these private keys and to sign transactions. So technically speaking, there's not going to be any coins residing on the device. These will still live on the blockchain, but it's rather these private keys that are being stored on the device, which you need to be able to spend any crypto that's tied to your wallet's address. So the device itself is basically there to like safeguard your proofs of ownership of the coins that you own. And it's designed in a way that it can't connect to the internet. So any contents of any of your wallets will remain offline and protected from like any hacks or online threats or anything like that. And the device even like does the signing of the transactions offline. So basically the keys will never leave the device. That will always stay secure and offline on the device. And the Trezor device will actually ask you for physical confirmation whenever you want to use your keys to sign a transaction. And it will also serve as your single source of truth when it comes to like address information being displayed or transaction information being displayed on the device. So you can always trust.
Quick question for the sake of the audience that I share this with. In the event, because this is not obviously a wireless device, it's a USB-C to USB-C. I connect it to my computer. It interacts or interfaces with the Trezor Suite app. If there happens to be a virus or malware or something on my hard drive and I connect this, how do I know essentially that it's safe to complete a transaction? Are there any warning signs I need to look out for? Things like that.
Well, whenever you would be like making a transaction, and we'll actually get into that like as we go through the setup and showcase of like sending, receiving funds, you would want to like confirm the transaction details against your Trezor, and then like for example, if you had some like malware that like alters the contents of the clipboard whenever you are copying the address to send to or to receive to, you would use your Trezor to confirm that the address that you've like pasted on the exchange where you want to withdraw from, or like just the address that you want to send your crypto to, actually matches like whatever you intended to send it to. And whatever address is being generated by the Trezor device will always be correctly displayed on the display of the device. So if you like check all the characters of the address on your device and then you paste it in like into an exchange that you want to withdraw from, and you see that like some of the like symbols, some of the characters of the address have been altered somehow, in that case, I would probably recommend most of the users to just get in touch with Trezor support to figure out why that's happening. You would probably be able to like showcase, like figure it out that there's probably some malware, like, you know, interfering at some point. But if you just double check it against the Trezor and make sure that the address you want to send it to actually matches the correct one, you always should be fine. And as long as like there's no discrepancy between the two, it's usually safe to do so. And whenever you want to actually like send something, it works the same way. So you fill out the transaction information in Trezor Suite, then your Trezor will display a confirmation of the order. So like that, you will see the address you want to send it to, the amount, and etc. And you would then again want to like confirm it against whatever is the source for the address that you wanted to like send to. So if you're sending from your Trezor to an exchange, you want to go onto the exchange account and confirm it against the exchange just to be sure that this is actually the correct one. But when it comes to like some malware being on a computer, Trezor doesn't really like reveal any of the secret that's being kept on the device. Like it never leaves the device.